Look who's back. And this time, the two of you are partners in the latest installment of the Pokemon saga. It's Pokemon Yellow, the special Pikachu edition for Game Boy Color, where it's you and Pikachu catching as many as you can together. Look for the Pokemon Yellow Bundle Pack. It includes a limited edition Pokemon Game Boy and Yellow Game Pack.
Pokemon, a franchise I've talked about once or twice. You know, I brought up about Pokemon Blue at one point. I even brought up about Pokemon Green very recently, actually. But there's one other game in terms of old school Pokemon that I haven't really talked about. And it's basically that of Pokemon Yellow. But it would just be a bit too easy if I was to talk about it by myself, right? So why don't I just bring in somebody that's gone through similar struggles as I've gone through with this game. So I got my headset in right here, and we are actually live on satellite with Binkdeadpool. Bink.
Hello internets, and I'm Binkdeadpool. Welcome to this video where we're going to talk a little bit about Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, okay, there you are. It seems that the signal's bad on our end, man. Can you hear me? Come on, Bink.
Thank you, Onyx, for having me for this edition of Onyx The Gaming Machine on Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, okay, there we go. I think we got it fixed now. So why don't you tell the people watching at home about Pokemon Yellow? Like, what stuff do you know about Pokemon Yellow?
Pokemon Yellow version, Special Pikachu edition, is a role-playing game that was created by Game Freak and published by Nintendo in 1998. In North America, Pokemon Yellow hit the stores on October 18th, 1999, hit the stores in Japan on September 12th, 1998, and then Europe was the last one to, unfortunately, to get it in June 16th, 2000. This is a game both me and Onyx have a little bit of knowledge on, and have had many experiences in. Wouldn't you say, Onyx?
Oh, hell yeah, I've had a lot of experiences with Pokemon Yellow. Why don't you tell the people watching at home about your experiences?
To be or not to be? That is the question. On the flip, I knew thee well. You could say that I've had quite a few experiences in the Pokemon world. I've pretty much been through my whole Nuzlocke run in Pokemon Yellow. I decided to pretty much play a version of that, and kinda made it a little bit rough for me with my own little set of rules that I had wrote out. And they restricted me on quite a few things, and in the end, Pokemon Yellow bested me, but that was more because I was raising the difficulty bar a bit too much. But during my adventure, I had many friends, including our starter, who was, of course, as you probably already know, Pikachu. But in my case, his name was Blarf. But unfortunately, on our way out of Cerulean City, on our way up Nugget Bridge, we were confronted by rival Hobbit. and unfortunately he ended up killing our starter Blarf. And we had to go on from there. So, at one point the game felt like it was just refusing to give me bird Pokemon. The whole end was a whole freaking thing, because I was like, I want to end this, and the game was like, no, you have to persevere. And it wasn't just the game. Fans who love me also wanted more, and I gave them more. Still gives me chills thinking about it to this day. Oh. Hello, ma'am.
Welcome to the Pokemon League. I am Laurel of the Elite Four. No one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon, because there aren't many in this generation. Freezing moves are so powerful. Your Pokemon will be at my mercy when they are frozen solid. Are you ready? 'Cause you're about to get fucked.
Alright, let's just make sure he's a little bit faster. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Dig! 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 Diggle dig! Diggle dig! Diggle dig! Trio! 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 Oh no! Oh no! All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. I'm so fucked. Oh, insult, insult, insult! How dare you! Eat Fire Blast! Hooray! Big Country Girl to level 33! Fire Blast! Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're done. Adios win adios. Ha ha ha! I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. It's just how it happens. It's it. That's it. Bye, birdie. Just going up the line, it doesn't matter at this point. Stun Spore! Nope. Stun Spore! Leech Life! Give me very small amounts of life! Leech Life! What a boy! Oh my god! Bye bye, Uglip! Benedict! 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 No! No, it should have been Toxic. You should have felt the Toxic, the Britney Spears song. Oh. That's it. Game over, guys. You don't even know Onyx. 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 You don't even know.
Yeah, I guess you're right that I'll never, I'll never understand that, man. You're right. I'll never.
Pokemon Yellow is a third-person overhead perspective type game that consists of 3 basic screens. An overworld which the player navigates with the main character, a side view battle screen, and a menu interface in which the player configures his or her Pokemon, items, or gameplay settings. It's actually where I made sure that my battle type was set, because that's the hardcore way to play. It's the only way to play hardcore. No, I'm just kidding. You guys can play however you want. Right, Onyx?
Couldn't have put it better myself, you damn right. So you know how you had the Pokeball as like your to be or not to be? Well, I have this Game Boy here where you can play Pokemon Yellow and any other Pokemon game that even came before that. Yeah, this right here. This is where it started. You know what I'm saying? This is where it started, everyone. This is where you would look at this thing, and not only would you look at the green screen it has to the pinkish reddish type of A and B buttons to its D-pad, and you would just look at it and be like, to be or not to be. Or maybe you didn't start off with this Game Boy. Maybe you started off with something a little bit more later on in date. Oh. Exactly, like, the Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Color, you could play, not just Game Boy games on it. You could even play Game Boy Color and stuff like that. And of course, later on, there was stuff like the Nintendo DS and the 2 different versions of the Game Boy Advance. But why just talk about it, though, when I could show you some of the other things that Pokemon Yellow has? So everyone, sit back, get your favorite drinking beverage, get your favorite snacking item, and in your case, Binkdeadpool, get yourself a nice cold cup of Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. And we will dive into not just some of the gameplay of Pokemon Yellow, but also just some of the stuff that made Pokemon Yellow different than the other 3 versions before it. I know Americans would be like, 2 versions. I, as a reviewer, say 3. Pokemon Green, Pokemon Red, and Pokemon Blue. But let's dive right on into Pokemon Yellow.
An intro that is very unique in its own. See, in Pokemon Red and Blue, there was an intro that was very, the same about them, but a little bit different. So Pokemon Red, you had gotten a Gengar fighting a Nidorino. In Pokemon Blue, you had a Gengar fighting a Jigglypuff. And now you have an intro with Pikachu coming into your life. So that's one thing that made Pokemon Yellow version just unique in its own way. But why not get right into this though? So we'll do a new game for this. Of course, it starts off with Professor Oak basically giving you a rundown of things. Basically, he's like, "Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. And that's a Pikachu. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. First, what is your name? Now, the thing is, if I was doing an actual playthrough of this game, I would call myself Onyx or something like that. But the thing is, this was a version that was honestly created for appeal of not only Japan, but mostly targeted at the American audience or United States type of audience. You know, even European, if you want to go down that far. So, because of the simple fact that this was aimed not as a base for Japan, but for other countries and continents as well, we will call this individual by the name that he was supposed to be called, which sadly is Ash. Right, so your name is Ash, which is interesting that they put that. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? Now, like I said, this is based around the American and European releases as its base audience, not just Japan, because Red and Blue and even Green were based around getting the appeal of the Japanese first, then America and European. The reason for that is because Pokemon Yellow is basically supposed to reflect the anime TV show that used to go on. So, as your character is named Ash, your character, by default, would actually be called Gary. That's right, I remember now. His name is Gary. Ash, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. Now, of course, in your room right here, you're put in front of a TV. You know, Ash is playing the Super Nintendo, and it's time to go. Now, the thing is, the beginning part here, it starts off just like Pokemon Green, Red, and Blue. You know, hell, you even can go in here, go turn on your PC, and you even have the potion that's usually there in Green, Red, and Blue. So why not we take that out, you know? Now that we have that out, we can leave our room. Now, like I said, everything is literally just the same, except maybe a bit of a tinted type of color palette. You'll notice every time when you go to a different city, your color palette will actually change to a different color. Like, for example, if you go to Cerulean City, it'll be blue. If you go to Pewter City, it'll turn into a nice solid gray. But this, when we leave our house, is when the game starts to be its own entity. Now, as you'll notice, Pallet Town looks literally exactly the same. Sorry about that. You know, that's your house right there. That's your rival's house. Even the sign is exactly the same. Pallet Town, shades of your journey await. And even if you went in here, things would literally be the same except for one thing, but I'm not going to spoil that right now for people that haven't played this game, because there actually is a small percentage of people that have not played this version of an old school Pokemon game. Now, the dialogue for the girl here is the same, and the dialogue for this individual right here is the same. But let me show you what makes this game different than the other ones that came before it. See, when you go into the grass, if you were to step right here, Oak would automatically come out and stop you from going into the grass. But in Pokemon Yellow, you take that one more step and your whole life changes. Hey, wait! Don't go out! That was close. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. Here's where your fate changes. A wild Pikachu appeared. Level 5. Oak automatically throws a Pokeball. Stays in for the count 1, 2, 3. Alright, Pikachu was caught. Woo. A Pokemon can appear anytime in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. And this goes regularly, but keep in mind that Professor Oak just caught that Pikachu that tried to somehow be violent towards you. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting.
Gary, why are you here already? I said for you to come by later. Whatever. Just wait there. Look, Ash. Do you see that ball on the table? It's called a Pokeball. It holds a Pokemon inside. You may have it. Go on, take it.
Hey, Gramps, what about me?
Be patient, Gary. I'll give you one later.
Now, yeah, this can be argued because this isn't technically how it went on in the anime. Because Ash technically got to Oak's lab late, and yeah, he ended up getting a Pikachu that he caught later on. And, you know, Gary wasn't even here like this. You don't even know what Gary's starter was in the anime. But in this Pokeball is the Pokemon Eevee. And you would think to yourself, oh wow, I'm going to have a Pokemon where I could get a stone and turn it into either a Flareon, a Jolteon, or a Vaporeon. But when you go to try and get this Pokeball, this happens. No way, Ash! I want this Pokemon. Gary snatched the Pokemon.
Gary, what are you doing?
Gramps, I want this one.
But Oh, alright then. That Pokemon is yours. I was going to give you one anyway. Ash, come over here. Ash, this is the Pokemon I caught earlier. You can have it. I caught it in the wild, and it's not tame yet.
Ash received Pikachu. Do you want to give a nickname to Pikachu? Because Ash didn't give Pikachu a nickname, we are not going to give Pikachu a nickname. Now, this is where, honestly, Pokemon Green, Red, and Blue basically come into play here. You try and leave, and your rival will try and battle you. But things are different. What's different, though, is that your rival has an Eevee, and you have a Pikachu. But your Pikachu is not exactly that strong, though, compared to the Eevee. But, remember, though, we got that potion out of our box. Wait, Ash. Let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. And, you know, the battle screen is still similar, you know, in terms of, you know, what its looks are. But you'll notice that everything's in a tint of yellow, which is actually pretty cool. But let's go ahead and start the fight, though. Gary sent out Eevee. Ash sent out Pikachu. Now, you could do this one of different ways, though. See, you have Thundershock and you have Growl. Growl actually lowers your opponent's attack, while Thundershock is just a regular attack that could possibly paralyze. The percentage is kind of low in terms of paralysis, but you can actually paralyze the Pokemon. Now, when I play Pokemon Yellow, I tend to use one Growl and then just completely go in with the Thundershocks. Eevee's attack fell. Eevee used Tackle. Let's do a Thundershock. We got lucky right there. The Eevee is paralyzed. It may not attack. Eevee used Tail Whip, but it failed. We're going to use another Thunder Shot. Eevee used Tackle. Eevee's attack missed. We're actually getting very lucky in this battle. Pikachu uses Thunder Shock. Eevee used Tail Whip. He kind of used Tail Whip a little too late though. But yeah, Tail Whip actually lowers your defense. And I'd say if a Pokemon uses Tail Whip at least 3 to 4 times, consider yourself in a little bit of a tough place, if you get my words. But he only used Tail Whip once. We're actually going to have this battle. Just one more attack, and Eevee will be out. Yeah, he used the Tail Whip a second time, but we're good. We're good. We got this battle. Enemy Eevee fainted. Pikachu gained 97 EXP points. And Pikachu grew to level 6. Now, like I said, this battle plays out similarly to how Green, Red, and Blue happen. Where, allow me to elaborate more on that. If you win the battle, your Pokemon will automatically go from level 5 to level 6. If you lose the battle, your Pokemon will still stay at level 5, and it'll take about approximately a minimum of 3 battles to get it to the next level. I say minimum because it depends on whether or not you run into a lot of Rattata, or if you run into a lot of Pidgey around your first beginning encounters. So that's a good thing to know. And Pikachu learned Tail Whip. Now also in this version, this actual Pikachu learns more attacks than a regular Pikachu in Green, Red, and Blue. Ash defeated Gary. What? Unbelievable! I picked the wrong Pokemon! And Ash got 175 Pokedollars. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon fight to toughen it up. Ash, Gramps, smell you later. This is a new thing that was introduced to this version. What? Would you look at that? It's odd, but it appears that your Pikachu dislikes Pokeballs. You should just keep it with you. That should make it happy. You can talk to it and see how it feels about you. So let's talk to the Pikachu. Yeah, he's not really happy right now, but he goes into a neutral state when you battle some Pokemon. So don't worry about that. You could try talking to Professor Oak again. It's not going to help you. In this case, you just got to get yourself to Viridian City. Now, because this isn't an actual playthrough, this is just a review, I'm not going to do the original grinding that I would usually do. Because usually, I try and grind my Pikachu to level 10, and then I try and get him to Viridian City. Reason for that is so Pikachu can be ready for any encounters that happen in Viridian Forest later on down the road. But in this particular playthrough, we're going to get the potion from this guy, and we're going to get ourselves to Viridian City. Hi! I work at a Pokemart. It's a convenience shop. So please, visit us in Viridian City. I know. I'll give you a sample. Here you go. Ash got a potion. Always talk to this guy when you do a green, red, blue, or even yellow playthrough. It's very helpful. You know, it's just very helpful. Now, our encounters from the beginning of Pallet Town to getting to Viridian City itself, you'll run into either a Pidgey or a Rattata. Sometimes even a Spearow. You never know what you'll run into. In this particular situation, we didn't run into anything. But what you're going to have to do is, of course, you can visit the Pokemon Center if your Pokemon is, hurt or whatnot, but he's not hurt, so we're just going to go to the Pokemart right here. Hey, you came from Pallet Town. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Will you take it to him? Ash got Oak's parcel. And there we go. And if you try and talk to the guy one more time, he says this. Okay, say hi to Professor Oak for me. Now, I will not be showing a full, playthrough or long gameplay video of this particular game. I will show some other stuff that will happen in the game without really spoiling too much. Now, you do run into Team Rocket as well, but because of the TV show, a lot of the grunts have been replaced with Jesse and James from the actual anime television show, which I thought that was a really cool addition that they put in there. It was really nice. It was really, really nice to do that. And at the same time, different places you go to, you can actually interact with Pikachu and he does different things. Also, if you try and evolve Pikachu with a Thunderstone, he will automatically refuse it. And if you talk to Pikachu right after you try to do that, he will give an expression of shaking his head, which is really cool. Oh, our first encounter. And our first encounter is a Rattata. Now also you'll notice a lot of the sprites are very cleaned up in this version of Pokemon. A lot of my favorite sprites are in Pokemon Yellow, but I would have to say that a lot of my favorite sprites are also in Pokemon Green version as well. That, as people know, was only exclusive to Japan. So we're going to go ahead and take out this Rattata. We could use Tail Whip, we could use Growl, but we're going to go straight for the kill and we're going to do a Thunder Shock. Okay, he's going to use Tail Whip. We're just going to automatically just defeat the Rattata and go on with trying to get to Pallet Town. Pikachu gained 24 experience, which that's really good. And you noticed when we left and came back, watch how the color tint changes. See, when you leave Pallet Town, it goes to a nice little greenish type of yellow. And we run into a Pokemon on our way trying to get back. And see, there's a cleaned up version of Pidgey's sprite. This Pidgey is at level 4. Now because Pidgey is a flying type Pokemon, flying type Pokemon are weak to electrical attacks. We just so happen to have a Pokemon with an electrical attack. This will do additional damage, which is literally called either super effective damage or critical damage. You can have a little bit of both depending on which Pokemon you use in a battle, which is a cool thing. But like I was saying before, you notice that the tint of the screen is now a yellowish green. You go back into Palette, it's back to a bluish type of color. Now, we got Professor Oak's parcel. Let's go and give that to him, everyone. Alright, here we go. Oh, Ash! How is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to like you a lot. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What? You have something for me? Ash delivered Oak's parcel. Ah, this is the custom Pokeball I ordered. Thanks, Ash. By the way, I must ask you to do something for me. Gramps! Gramps, my Pokemon has grown stronger. Check it out. Ah, Gary, good timing. I needed to ask both of you to do something for me. On the desk there is my invention, Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Ash and Gary, take these with you. Ash got Pokedex from Oak. To make a complete guide of all the Pokemon in the world, that was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't do it. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history.
Alright, Gramps. Leave it to me. Ash, I hate to say it, but I don't need you. I know. I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one. Ash.
And, you know, if you try and talk to Pikachu, he just acts regular. He's kind of confused. Now, you can also go to this computer right here. And it was going to this computer that started a little online theory that has gone on for many years. And I'm going to let people read this email. There's an email message here. Calling all Pokemon trainers. The elite trainers of Pokemon League are ready to take on all comers. Bring your best Pokemon and see how you rate as a trainer. Pokemon League headquarters, Indigo Plateau. P.S. Professor Oak, please visit us. Now, the theory that has been going on for many years is, why would the Indigo Plateau automatically send an email to Professor Oak, a simple Pokemon researcher, to come and visit the Pokemon League headquarters, Indigo Plateau? Well, the theory, continuing on, is basically that what if Professor Oak was originally a Pokemon master, or Pokemon champion, as it were. Still a theory that goes on to this day, and I always, in my opinion, think that Professor Oak was once a Pokemon champion, but he quit being champion and became a professor. Now, we're going to go back to Viridian City, and I'm going to show people, you know, the old man that helps you capture Pokemon. Now, you can go here to Gary's house, and you can go talk to the female that's in there, and you can get yourself a free town map. We're not going to get one. We're going to just try and get ourselves to Viridian City. And also keep in mind, because we didn't use a potion in the trainer battle with Gary, we still have 2 potions in our bag. So now we're going to go up here to Viridian City. Now, what you can do is when you get to Pewter City and stuff, you can go this way and try and go to the Pokemon League, and you'll be stopped by your rival Gary, and you'll be in a trainer battle. That is one of 2 trainer battles that you can get yourself into, which will determine whether or not Gary evolves his Eevee into a specific Pokemon and the 3 choices that he has. I will not spoil, though, how it determines it. So this is the old man. Now, originally in Pokemon Red and Blue, and even Green, before you even got Professor Oak's parcel, he would be laying down there asleep, you know, acting like he was drunk or whatever. But in Green, Red, and Blue, you could just bypass him. You could just totally ignore going to him to capture Pokemon. But in Pokemon Yellow, this happens.
I had my coffee now, and I feel great. Sure, you can go through. I'm sorry I was rude to you. I see you're using a Pokedex. I'll show you how to catch Pokemon, as my apology.
Now, the outcome of this battle is actually different than the outcome that you get in Green, Red, and Blue. And you'll basically see it by just this right here. The old man goes to throw a Pokeball. the Pokemon does not stay in the ball.
That didn't work. I must be losing my touch. I've run out of Pokeballs, too. I have to get some at Pokemart.
Now, in green, red, and blue, the old man would successfully catch a Pokemon, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's a wild Weedle, which is interesting. So, I'm going to show everybody Viridian Forest here. Now, first off, before you even go to Viridian Forest, go over here. You got a third potion right there, just for you. Lucky, lucky, huh? Now, I will be jump cutting in a little while, though, to me playing this later on, because there is something special that I want to show everybody that I don't really see in many reviews of Pokemon Yellow. Now, like I said, I'm not going to show everything that is to be seen in Pokemon Yellow because I want some people to be surprised. However, at the same time, I want people to see certain things you may not ever really see in your own playthroughs. And this Pidgey is wanting to be an asshole. Pidgey's gone. Pikachu gained 39 EXP. Now it would be this way to go to Viridian Forest. You can talk to the two people here if you want to. You don't have to. You can talk to some of the people that are down in this area, but you technically have your first trainer battle here. You could talk to that one little girl right there. She will tell you about, other stuff. But here's a very important item that I believe everybody should pick up when they go to Viridian Forest. A Pokeball, because we don't have any Pokeballs. We're about to fight our first Pokemon in Viridian Forest, and it is a Caterpie. A Caterpie at level 5. Oh yeah. Now Caterpie has String Shot and Tackle. You don't really have to worry about any issues with a Caterpie. The most issues that I would tell you though is when Caterpie evolves into a Metapod and becomes a Butterfree. Because Butterfree, one of its first moves that it learns, keyword one of its first moves, is Confusion, which is a psychic move. It has a small percentage of also confusing the enemy that Confusion is used on. And Pikachu went to level 7. Now I'll also show you your first battle that you get into, and then I'll jump cut to me playing this later on down the road, so I can show everybody something really cool that honestly I have not really ever seen in any other Pokemon Yellow review. But let's battle this trainer real quick.
Hey, you have Pokemon! Come on, let's battle!
Your first trainer that you fight is a bug catcher, and he wants to fight. The bug catcher sends out a Caterpie, and don't worry, it's at a low level, so it shouldn't KO you or anything. But we also have 3 potions in our disposal, so this is a battle that you statistically should not lose. Your percentages of losing your first battle is very, very low. Because, well, would you really consider your first battle to be hard? Or would you rather consider your first battle to be something you would learn? I mean, yeah, technically you had your rival battle, but that was a battle with your rival. This is your first battle with an actual trainer. So, keep that in mind. And as you can see, everybody has their different ways that they play. In my case, depending on the Pokemon, I'll either go in attacks only, or I'll use attacks like Growl or Tail Whip, maybe even Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is a move that Pikachu learns as well. We got another Caterpie. See, let me show you an example. So let's say I want to use Tail Whip. It goes in with a tackle, it's fine. Tail Whip was successful. Enemy Caterpie's defense fell. Now I could use Growl. I'll show you what Growl does. String Shot lowers my speed, but it's okay. We don't need speed for this particular situation. So, enemy Caterpie's attack fell. Now, let me show you a really good way to end a Pokemon at this type of level with the attacks that you have with a Pikachu. Like, let's say I really want to try in this battle. So he's going to use String Shot. It's going to keep lowering my speed. It's fine. I'm going to keep using Tail Whip. He's going to keep using String Shot. But see, the funny thing is, if you use String Shot a particular amount of times, if your Pokemon itself goes second automatically, String Shot is not really effective to you if you automatically, like I said, go second in the battle. So we're going to keep using Tail Whip. And as you notice, you can only use certain assist moves like Tail Whip or String Shot for a certain period of time until nothing actually happens anymore. Now we'll use one more Tail Whip. And then we will attack. So let's use a Thunder Shock and see what those Tail Whips have done. Now you notice that it did a little bit more damage than usual when we were attacking the Caterpie at first, simply because the defense of the Caterpie was lowered exponentially, but because of the level similarities between the two Pokemon, it didn't really do as much damage as you would have anticipated. Because, well, bug Pokemon are not weak against electrical moves. But it still did a little more damage as well. So I guess you could say the Tail Whips that I used, they weren't in vain. They did a little bit more damage than usual. And there we go. We got the Caterpie. And Pikachu gained 79 EXP for it. And Ash defeated the Bug Catcher. No! Caterpie can't cut it! And like I said, not only from when you battled your rival, when you battle other trainers as well, you get a nice little offering of Pokemon dollars so you can go and buy yourself stuff at the Pokemon. And if you talk to Pikachu after a battle, sometimes you get different results. Now in this case, because Pikachu is still at a low level, he doesn't really change in terms of your of like anything that happens in terms of victory. You usually start seeing changes like this around between level 8 and level 10, which is very interesting. But even if we walk a little bit, he's still in like a neutral state. Now everyone, I'm going to jump cut and I'm going to show you some footage that I'm going to be working really hard to get to. That's going to take a lot of time, but to you it'll only be just a second jump cut. So I will see everyone in just a second. Okay, and we are back here. Now this is the special Pikachu game that you would play. Oh, come on. I'm gonna try and talk while I do this. This is gonna be difficult. Alright, so anyways, you would go to Fuchsia City and go south of where the... Come on. Okay. And go to the south where the gym and the Pokemon Center is. And down there is what's called the Dude's Shack or Dude's House. Now, if you have to have a... Come on. Alright, there we go. You need to have a surfing Pikachu in order to do this mini game. It's really, really cool. And you get points by doing flips on certain waves. Oh, this is crazy. But anyways, yeah, this is a really fun little mini game to do if you get a Pikachu with Surf. I recommend trying to get a surfing Pikachu from Pokemon Stadium 2, actually. But let's see. It's not bad, actually. But yeah, that's basically the little surprise I wanted to show people.
Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, leave a nice positive comment down below. And let me know if you've played any Pokemon games in the past, you know, from stuff that only came out for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, maybe even Game Boy Advance. But before we end the video though, Bink, I know you're still there. Do you have any final words for the people that are watching right now?
If you ever want to experience Pokemon as me and Onyx did when we were young, Pokemon Yellow is a good introduction to how we were introduced to Pokemon as it was when it was released when we were younger. This is pretty much the series that helped kick off things like the trading card game and subsequent other Pokemon games like Pokemon Stadium and all different other kinds of games that ended up coming out. Not just the games, but the movies. Pokemon has exploded so much. In fact, you can now play Pokemon on your phones, not just with video game emulators, but you know, you can play Pokemon Go. You can walk the world and catch Pokemon, which, if the servers work, is great. If you'd like to check out my Pokemon Yellow playthrough, you can do so by checking Bink Live on YouTube. You can find the whole playlist there, or possibly in the description below. Thank you guys all for watching.
Peace out.